The Mi CC9 Pro. It's got 5 cameras to the back, a 108 megapixel primary camera, and it also holds the current record for the highest score on DXOMark. But is it really that good? I was just as curious as you guys to find out, so that's why I ended up importing this Mi CC9 Pro. Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech and welcome to my unboxing of the Mi CC9 Pro, or as it's globally known, the Mi Note 10. So whatever may be the name, if you do end up liking what you see in this unboxing video, please go ahead, subscribe and turn on notifications by hitting this bell icon. Let's now get this video started. The Mi CC9 Pro comes in this really colorful box. We have the CC branding up top and below that we've got the name of the phone in gold text. Even the Xiaomi logo to the top is in gold. It's a nice change of look from the regular Xiaomi boxes we've been seeing. Oh, and there's something written in Chinese on the top left. The CC branding continues to the sides, and to the back we have what I assume are the spec highlights. Along the bottom we have another sticker with more information. This here's the 6GB RAM 128GB storage version. Let's now take our unboxing knife and slice through the seals on both sides. Removing the lid, the first thing inside the box is the CC9 Pro. Let's peel that plastic off. And the sticker to the back too. This is the black variant. The glass back is quite shiny and reflective, but it doesn't seem to have any kind of gradient or pattern. Xiaomi is calling this the midnight black variant. We have curved glass to the back as well as to the front. Booting it up and setting it aside for a bit. Next we have another colorful cardboard box that holds the SIM ejector pin, documentation, a soft case to go along with it. It seems to fit well. Next up there's a 30-watt fast charger here. And finally a USB Type-C cable. So that's pretty much it for the inbox contents. Let's now get to the Mi CC9 Pro. So let's kick things off with what I know most of you guys have been waiting for. The cameras. We've got 5 to the back. So let's talk about them one by one. First up, the most important one, the 108 megapixel primary camera. This is Samsung's ISOCELL Bright HMX sensor. It's combined with a 7-element lens, an f1.69 lens to be precise, with 4-axis OIS nonetheless. Guys, do note that it's a 7-element lens on this base variant. The premium edition, it comes with an 8-element lens, and that's the one that has the highest DXOMark scores. So that's just something worth mentioning. So that should perform a little bit better. So anyway, we also have support for face detection, autofocus, as well as laser assist for autofocus. Okay, enough with the text, let's get to the samples. In the auto mode, this sensor shoots 27 megapixel images by default, and they're amazingly sharp. The colors are vibrant. In some shots like these, the subject looks really lifelike. Thanks to that wide aperture, the natural bokeh or the background blurring that we get here, it's really good. The dynamic range too is quite decent. Overall, I'd say excellent pictures. Now switching over to the 108 megapixel mode, the photo sizes here are really big, and well, the details, they do improve. Like take this picture for example, comparing it side by side with a 48 megapixel shot from the Redmi K20 Pro, we can see that the lines on the ladder on the roof, they've become kind of blurred out on the K20 Pro. It's much more cleaner on the Mi CC9 Pro. The extra megapixels, they do seem to help here. Moving along, here's a look at the 2x and 5x optical zoom options. Those are two different sensors here on the CC9 Pro, and the 5x optical zoom, it also allows for 10x hybrid zoom and even 50x digital zoom. Crisp looking pictures, right? Now since this is a camera focused phone, would you guys want to see a dedicated in-depth video on these cameras? Let me know in the comments below. Now if you want it, let's make that happen. Now we also get a 20 megapixel wide angle camera here, and I found that quite impressive too. Generally, the wide angle is where the dynamic range takes a hit, but it's pretty good here. The pictures, they look sharp with punchy colors. Good stuff. Xiaomi's even thrown in a dedicated macro camera, and again, despite just being a 2 megapixel snapper, the detail levels are well above what I went in expecting. If there is one letdown with these cameras, I'd say it's the lack of 4K 60 FPS, but that's not an issue with the camera hardware, but it's more of a SoC limitation. With the 4K 30 footage, just look at it. The footage seems super stable, and that's because of the 4-axis OIS at play. And of course, like the photos, the dynamic range is good, the detail levels are excellent, EIS is also present at 1080-30 in the form of super steady that irons out all the shake, making for an almost gimbal-esque experience. Now, while the cameras are certainly the main point of attraction for the CC9 Pro, the Mi Note 10, the rest of the phone isn't without its own charms either. We've got this gorgeous 6.47-inch AMOLED panel to the front. The resolution, as expected, is Full HD+. The beauty of this display is not higher refresh rates or anything like that, but the fact that it curves at the edges and melts into the aluminum sides. The design, it isn't your typical glass sandwich design. The Gorilla Glass 5 covered front and back, it curves symmetrically before joining in at the sides, giving the Mi CC9 Pro an incredibly premium in-hand feel. The weight here is over 200 grams, but there is reason for it. The added heft here, it does add to the premium feel. That said, this is definitely a two-handed device. You're going to be using it with both hands more often than not. And this glass back, it's shiny, it's reflective, it looks good, but it does pick up a ton of fingerprints and smudges. In fact, we spent more time cleaning the glass here than we spent shooting. It picks up fingerprints and smudges, and it's also slippery. Anyway, now's as good a time as any to take a look around the phone. So volume and power keys are both present to the right. Underneath, we've got a dual SIM tray there. No micro SD slot since this is a Xiaomi phone, not a Redmi. This SIM tray does come with a rubber grommet. The top holds an IR blaster, which is a welcome addition. There is also a secondary mic here. To the left, well, there's nothing. It's left clean, pun unintended. The bottom is where we find the speaker, primary mic, USB Type-C port, and the headphone jack, so that is also present, not omitted. It's good to see that Xiaomi is retaining it. They kind of did omit it on Mi phones for a bit, but it's nice to see them bring it back. And on the headphone jack front, it does support high-res audio, and FM radio is also included. Circling back to that display for a bit, to the top there is a tiny little dewdrop notch. This holds the sensors as well as a 32 megapixel selfie shooter. Above this is a slit for the speaker grill. The AMOLED panel here, it can get quite bright. The colors are vibrant, the contrast level is brilliant. It comes with HDR support, and well, it looks stunning. Can't really stop praising this display. Now under the hood, the Snapdragon 730G is the chip that's running this show. It's a gaming-focused premium mid-range SoC from Qualcomm, and it is a pretty solid chip. I mean, just look at the benchmark results between the K20 Pro, which sports the 855, and this Mi CC9 Pro, which has the Snapdragon 730G. Now, with day-to-day performance, the CC9 Pro is buttery smooth. I've been using the Realme X2 Pro for a while, and the combination of MIUI 11 along with Snapdragon 730G here, it made me feel like I was still playing around with a flagship device. I mean, the only thing I missed here was that 90Hz refresh. Still, the touch is incredibly responsive, the apps are quick to open, even multitasking it felt like a breeze. We have 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage on this model, but you can get up to 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. Now, moving on to gaming performance, we tested out a few intense titles and there was no noticeable lag or FPS drops. So while it might not technically have a flagship chip, the Mi CC9 Pro does seem to do pretty well with regards to performance. I'm pretty hopeful with regards to that. Now, of course, we got to touch on the software. We have MIUI 11 on board, and surprisingly, it's still based on Android 9 Pie. Now, this is the Chinese version of MIUI 11, so there are a few features here that have not yet rolled out to the Indian ROM. We have the ultra battery saving mode in here, and that should work well given that this is an AMOLED screen. Speaking about battery, remember how I said the CC9 Pro weighs in at over 200 grams, and there is reason to that. Now, the reason is the fact that it comes with a 5260 milliamp hour battery. And there is also support for 30-watt fast charging. Xiaomi claims that this included charger can take this phone from 0 to 58% in just half an hour. Now, the combination of the fact that it's got such a high capacity battery plus MIUI 11 plus that Snapdragon 730G chip means the battery life I expect it to be excellent, and of course AMOLED as well. So anyway, I will continue testing this phone out and I'll have more to say in my full review. Now, before we wrap things up, let's get to pricing. And actually, before that, There is an under-display fingerprint scanner. It's almost as good as the one that I've been using on the Realme X2 Pro. We also have face unlock for added convenience, and that too works quite well. Now, as far as the pricing goes, the 6128 variant, it starts at 2799 yuan, which converts to about 28,000 rupees. Now, assuming they bring it to India for the same price, it would find itself competing with the likes of the X2 Pro and the Redmi K20 Pro. Now, yes, technically from a chip front, it does not have the same kind of chip. It's not the 855, it's not the 855 Plus, but the CC9 Pro seems to have a better camera package while still being quite a solid performer. Seems like Xiaomi is catering to a different segment of the audience. What do you guys feel about this? Do you wish the CC9 Pro had a Snapdragon 855 Plus? Do you actually want to see this phone in India? If yes, what do you feel would be a fair price for it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And also, what other videos would you want to see about the CC9 Pro? Let me know in the comments below. And with that, we get to the end of this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about it. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. And thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.